What's up, guys? Christian here with OPH Outdoors. First off, I'd like to say thank you guys for still subscribing. We're up to, I think, like 365 right now, maybe more by the time this video gets uploaded. So thank you guys. Keep on subscribing, because once we hit 500 subscribers, we're going to be doing a giveaway. So make sure you guys share the video. Make sure you guys share my channel. Make sure you're subscribed, like videos, comments. It'll all help you once I start the giveaway. And yeah, so 500 subscribers, we're going to do a big tackle giveaway. So make sure you guys are subscribed. It's only going to be to people who are subscribed to me. So make sure you are subscribed. So let's get into today's video. Alright, so today we're going to go over a topic that I actually see asked a lot. People have a bunch of different preferences on how to store these baits and how to organize them and so on. I've done it multiple ways. I've done it in different boxes, and I've came to something which I think is the best way for me personally to store them. In boats and kayaks, I'm going to go over both ways of how I store it in my boat and in my kayaks. And best way about keeping your baits how they originally are out of the pack and making sure they're exactly how you want them when they come, or when you put them onto the hook. So with that being said, today we're going to be talking about soft plastic bait storage. So first, we will start with how I store them in my kayak. So in my kayak, I've got a Yak Attack Black Pack. This is always sitting in the back of my kayak, and I've always got the lid down. I've got rod holders on the side, but yeah. Now, how I store my plastics in here is I've got a bunch of 3800s. I've already made a video talking about how talking about my kayak tackle storage, but this is specifically on soft plastics. So I put all of my soft plastics in Plano 3700 box or size boxes. Now, as you can see, I think it'll focus in on that. I've got blue tape on all of my different baits saying exactly what they are. So if I ever run out, I can just go straight back to wherever I want to go get baits and know exactly what I need to get. So in my kayak, I have all of them organized in there. I know a lot of people say that this either makes the baits like melt, or it'll make your dividers start curving. And as you can see, the dividers have curved a little bit, but this is a 1.5 to 2-year-old box. So I'd expect after that long that they would start curving some or moving some. But as you can see, it's really not that bad. They don't move that much. They're still usable. They're not awful, like out of place. Everything still fits in there fine. So yeah. And I've got that for all my different baits. So in my kayak, since you're kind of limited room, I've got a trick worm box. I've got a box for all my trailers, which I'm actually low of some in there. I've got a Senko box, and then I got a creature bait box. Now I know that doesn't cover all the different types of baits you can use. My trailer box, it's got Ned rig trailers, all my crawl trailers that I use. It's got swim bait trailers, chatterbait trailers, spinnerbait trailers, buzz bait trailers, all of that type of stuff. I've got swim baits inside that trailer box. Trick worms, I've got all my big worms down to little drop shot worms. Senko's just got a bunch of different Senkos in it. Creature bait's got a bunch of different styles, lengths, sizes, like girths, colors. I've got everything in there. Now, I only have these boxes because these are the types of baits that I throw the most out of soft plastics. Now, I still can throw flukes. I can throw tubes. If I have any other type of baits that I don't have in these boxes, I'll either throw them in my H-rail tackle bin, or I'll throw them in the front compartment of my kayak. If I open this up right now, I probably got a bunch of different baits in here already that I don't have. So you guys, when I open up my front storage, I've got baby brush hogs, slim shakes, mondo worms, trench hogs, kraken craws, rage craws, and then another bandito bug box. So that is how I store all my soft plastics. I just put whatever I use most in those boxes, so they're always with me. And then anything I think might work for that day better than the other, I will just throw in my front hatch. So with that being said, I don't think I've got to show you everything that's in all my soft plastic boxes. Like I said, all of them have, on the front, they've got blue tape with the names written of each thing, and then on each side of the box I've got what is in the box. So then when it's standing up this way, I can just look in real quick and see what is in it. So that is how I store all my soft plastics in my kayak. And now let's get to how I store them in my boat. Alright guys, so we're going to get into how I store them in my boat now. Now I'm sure you can already see them up here on top of my kayaks right here, how I'm going to store them and how I do. But first I'm going to say, you can store them all different ways. There's the money bags, you can use plastic, like big 1 gallon Ziploc bags. You can use the KVD zipped bags. You can use containers, you can use planos, just like I did for my kayaks. You can pretty much do anything you want. Just you can keep them in the plastic cases how they come, or the plastic bags how they come, and just put them in your rod lockers and organize them that way. But all those different ways, they can really be expensive. Planos are $7, $8 a piece, depending on which ones you get. They could go even higher. The KVD Ziploc, or the zip bags, they're, I think, probably 10 to 20 bucks, if not more than that. Bass Mafia money bags, those are, I don't know exactly how much they are, but I would guess probably about $5 to $10 or more, just because they're Bass Mafia. So yeah, all those different boxes, they just can get really expensive. So one way that I found out that is actually a really good way to store them, and the way that I'm storing them, is if you guys go to Target, you guys can get these 1 gallon plastic tubs for 93 cents, I believe, is what I got them for the tub and the lid. Now, that is a really good deal on them. I can store a bunch of baits in each one of these, and it is an extremely good way to store your plastics. As you can see on the lid of each, I've got what's in each box. I've got Ned rigs, drop shots, and fluke baits. Once you get into this, I would highly recommend organizing them by brand and by type. Now, one thing I am going to start doing is, since I've got 3 different types of baits in here, I'm going to start making a divider and put it in between each type of bait. So, I already organized this a few weeks ago. So right here I've got all my Guggen Rattle Neds, all my Z-Man TRDs, whether it's the Finesse TRDs, big TRDs, whether it's the Creature TRDs, Tube TRDs, all of those type of things. I've got all my Z-Man TRDs. I've got a few Robo Worm, Ned Worms, and yeah. So right here is where I would put a divider if I had a divider in here, and then I get into all my drop shot baits. So here's the Guggen Dragon Drop, KVD Dream Shot, and then all my Robo Worm drop shot baits, and then I've got a Z-Man Trick Shots baits. And then right here I would have another divider, and I would go into all my flukes, and all my flukes, and then I've got one Razor Shad swim bait in here, but it can kind of be thrown like a fluke. So, yeah, that's how I organize all my soft plastics. I get these containers, I write exactly what on it on the lid, on every side of it, in Sharpie I wrote what is in each box, and it works really well for me. The only one that doesn't work too well right now are my Kitex. So in this box, as you can see, I have Kitex, I've got trailers, and I've got tubes. Now, tubes are fine, I've got them over here in the corner, and some swim baits work fine. I don't have many trailers in here just because of my swim baits taking up a lot of the box. So my trailers are pretty much all in my creature baits and crawl tub. But the way that I organize this with swim baits is one side I'll have all my tubes, the other side I'll have all my bags of swim baits. So right here I've got the Yum Impulse. And then in the center I've got all the big baits. So I've got my Kitex, I've got my Rage Swimmers, I've got all my Guggen Saucy Swimmers, and then it gets down to the big Kitex and the big Rage Swimmers. So I just put all those right in the middle. I could probably put them on the side if I wanted, but in the middle it just holds the other baits up against the side a little better. So that is how I store my Kitex in there. Like I said, it isn't always the best to do it that way, but it works still fine. So I've never had an issue with it so far. I've been running this for about a year now this way, and it's great. Then I come into my next box. I've got all my creature baits and crawls. This is probably one of my other most full boxes, along with my Ned Rig, Fluke, and Drop Shot box, because I throw creature baits and I throw Ned Rigs and Drop Shots and Flukes pretty much whenever I'm throwing soft plastics. And then it gets into my last box. And I've got Senkos, trick worms, and wacky worms. So there it is, all of them. This one's a little bit, this is one of the more empty boxes. I could probably throw a few more things in there, or quite a bit more in there. So, yeah. And one thing I try to do is I try to organize everything based on how they are. So, or like what kind of baits they are. So like I've got kitex, trailers, and tubes. Tubes, I just need an extra spot to put tubes. But kitex and trailers are kind of the same way. There's kitex can be considered a trailer, and yeah, there's trailers. Nedge, drop shot, and flukes. As you can see, finesse box. Pretty much any type of finesse type bait is going to be in that box. And most of the time, if I'm throwing finesse, it's going to be Ned rigs, drop shots, or flukes. Next, I've got those Senkos, trick worms, and wacky worms. In the names, they're all worms. There's stick baits, then there's like the trick worms, the bigger worms, skinny big worms, and then wacky worms, anything to throw in a wacky rig. And then creatures and crawls. Creatures and crawls, basically the same thing. They all somewhat have a similar design, and they all work very similar in the same type of brush, the same type of structure that you're throwing into. So yeah, that's everything I keep in my soft plastics box. How I organize each one. Like I said, extremely efficient way to do it, extremely cheap way, and a good way to store all your soft plastics if you're looking for a new way to store them. Now, if I have any other baits that I am not, or that I don't have in those boxes, I can't really think of any right now that I might not have in there. I think I've got, for the most part, them all set up exactly how I need them. But if there was any other type of soft plastic that I didn't have to fit in that category, I would go get another box and make that for them. And yeah, I mean, I fit all 4 of those in my one right side rod locker in front of my console in my boat, no problem. I could fit 8 to 10 of those in there if I wanted. So they don't take up much space, they hold baits like they should, and they're really cheap. And 4 boxes, I've got under $4, where if you're gonna do this with some other type of storage, for 4 boxes, you're gonna be looking 30, 40, 50 bucks. So it saves you a lot of money, and it's just overall a good way to store your baits. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully you learned something. Maybe you like this idea of storing soft plastics, and maybe it helped you out to where you're going to store them like this year. Or if you're a kayak angler, hopefully it helped you out so then you know how to store your soft plastics in your kayak now. Like I said earlier in the video, we're going to do a subscriber giveaway at 500 subscribers. Only subscribers are going to be entered into the giveaway. So make sure you guys are subscribed to my channel, share it, get it out however you guys can, because the sooner I can get up to 500 subscribers, the sooner the giveaway is going to happen. So thank you guys for watching all the way to this part of the video if you're here, and we will see you in the next video.